This is part one of a two-part podcast.
Put Paul's brain on your plot. Do you have a hunk of land but don't know where to start? Do you have a world-changing permaculture idea and you need some feedback? Do you feel like the guy in overalls may inexplicably hold the keys to all your wildest permaculture and homesteading dreams? Well, you're probably wrong. But if you want to give it a go anyway, you can hire Paul for a consultation. He will be all yours for a whole entire hour. Schedule your Paulversation today at permies.com/consult. permies.com/consult.
I think I can see the comments. I don't know if anybody's typing in there or not, but we're going to talk about we've got that purple deck of permaculture playing cards, or the gardening playing cards, on Kickstarter right now. And now I know that when we've done this kind of a live thing in the past, we kind of did a thing where it's like, oh, if we get this much money, we'll keep going. And for the last Kickstarter, we did that, and somebody got really angry with us because not many people put money in during the thing, and then we ended, and they were like, that was too short. Which, in a way, I think it's fun to hear that. That was too short. I wanted to hear more. And it's like, so this time we don't have any kind of time constraint like that. We're just going to... So Andreas has picked out 12 cards, and they were voted on by the people that have supported past Kickstarters. And so we're going to see 12 cards, and we'll just look at them and talk about them, and that's about it. And people can type in the chatty chat to ask questions about whatever card we're looking at or whatever's. So, Andreas, what is our first card?
Our first card and the most voted was the Rocket Cooktop.
Okay.
Ooh.
Do we get to get a closer view of the Rocket Cooktop card?
Yes. Give me a second.
All right. This is a good time to point out that our Kickstarter is suffering because normally when we do a Kickstarter, probably about 90% or more of all of the income that comes to our Kickstarter comes from our mailing lists. But bad guys and their bots have pooped on our mailing list. And so we get the impression that about 85% of our regular people cannot see our emails right now, and we're working on fixing that. We've been working on it for about 4 months. And but my guess is by the time this Kickstarter is done, we'll still have broken emails. So there's going to be lower activity, lower turnout. Oh well, damn. It is what it is. We'll make the best of it. But, all right. So, Andreas, can we look at the Rocket Cooktop card a little closer, please?
Yes, just a second.
Okay. All right.
1 minute.
All right. The old deck, I still have like 2 boxes of the old cards. I think it's gardener-gift.com. And this, of course, is the time of year where we sell 90% of the cards or more. But we're not going to get it reprinted. So this is the last of these cards. And when they're gone, they're gone. And then we'll have the new cards, and we'll push those around, I suppose. It's been a popular, holiday thing. I'm guessing stocking stuffer size or something might be part of it. But
yeah, I bought a big pile for presents a few years ago. You had a good deal going, so I got a dozen of them. Yeah, they're beautiful cards. I
think they're terrific. I'm I'm of course sad that they're not selling 1,000 times better, but it'll be nice to get to have my house not be full of all these cardboard boxes of stuff waiting to be sold. That'll be handy.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, there's that whole thing of how bad guys pirated the cards, the old deck, and I'm kind of tired of that happening. So if you ever bought a deck of cards and there's a card in there advertising a printer, you got a pirated deck of cards. So basically the printer that we hired for the first edition decided to just sell the cards on their own with advertisements in the card. So there's a card inside that advertises their printing services. And they just printed up a bunch more. And they just kept printing and basically competing with us. And it's like kind of ready to be all done with that. There we go. So I think if you go to permies.com/KS, it'll take you to the Kickstarter. Ooh, you know what would be fun is to look at how we're doing. So right now, we're at 28,104. So I'm going to type that in, 28,104. I guess we'll see if we do this, if we gain $1 or something to our Kickstarter by doing this. But I'm glad to talk about all of the content of each of these cards and I don't know, we'll show them off along the way. Okay, rocket cooktop. We have 2 rocket cooktops at my place, but the big thing is that with a rocket cooktop as opposed to a rocket mass heater, you want to cook your food and then have any extra heat go outside, so that way you're not heating up the building while cooking. And so I think, the image that you see here kind of shows the one that we've got at Allerton Abbey. And when you do a rocket cooktop, there's an important thing, and that is that rather than having like a knob that you turn for high, medium, low, instead what happens is that there's different spots while the fire is burning that'll be hotter or less hot. And so if you want to boil water, you'll put it on the hottest spot. And it'll boil the water very fast. But if you're going to fry eggs or something like that, or for most of the things you're going to cook, you want something that's more of a medium. So you'll go to a spot that's a little further away from the fire. And then if the fire is burning really hot or burning down, you might move your pan around a little bit to get the temperature to be just right. So the thing you want to do is to put as much heat as possible onto the cooking surface, and then to have just a little bit of heat going out your vertical exhaust just to keep the exhaust moving in the correct direction. So I do get the impression, and then along the way, try to get your fire to burn in such a way that it burns all of the creosote and all of the smoke. So that way you have a very clear burn. All right, let's see. The little bits of poetry for this card. A tiny bit of fuel will quickly cook your food. I got to say that we've got the 2 rocket cooktops. The one at Allerton Abbey is the one that everybody really loves because you get a fire going and you can get your water boiling faster than if you're trying to use an electric kettle down at the Fisher-Price house. It is very fast.
And the surface. The surface on it's like an electric range top, right? One of those smooth top glass things.
Yes.
That's cool. You can see the fire come up and hit it and go around sometimes.
Yeah, it is really nice. And it's like it's apparently a very conductive kind of a thing because it heats things so fast. It's especially compared to the one in Cooper Cabin. And we also have the one that's the Lorena, but still the one in Allerton Abbey is the favorite. But the one in Cooper Cabin has, I think it's a steel top or a cast iron top or something like that. And it just takes a long time to heat up. And so it's because of that, people don't like it very much. Whereas this one, which is just got that, it's a glass. So you know how there are some electric stoves that are like an electric coil. That's the old school kind. And then there's the newer ones where it's got something under the glass. And there's different somethings under the glass. So this is just that glass. And we just took it off of, like you say, off of an electric stove that had died and was being recycled. And we just grabbed the glass cooktop. So, let's see. Clear exhaust for most of the burn. Off-grid cooking with no propane, just sticks found lying on the ground. And it's kind of a funny thing. There's a bunch of people that are like, we live off-grid, and then they cook with propane. And it's kind of like, first of all, I don't think that's exactly off-grid. Once you've got propane, I think propane is the grid. So, no, you're no longer off-grid, I think.
You've brought the grid to your place in a truck.
Yes.
Periodic grid visits.
And the beautiful thing about the wood cooking is that you just use sticks you find lying around on the ground. I mean, you're not going to find propane lying around on the ground, nor are you going to find electricity lying around on the ground. So it just seems more low tech, it's more resilient. Aligned. Yeah, more resilient as well. Like, which is another thing too. Is like there's a huge prepper community, right? There's like all these people who are so keen on prepping, and it kind of seems like, but you're running on propane. So, I mean, I suppose that you can go ahead and get like 40 bottles, and put those up, but those are going to eventually run out.
Right.
Aren't they? If
they will.
Because the preppers are worried about zombie apocalypse kinds of things, right?
Yes.
And so, all right, you got your zombie apocalypse, and and they've done so many things to prepare for, 20 years. But is having propane? Do they have enough propane for 20 years? I'm not sure. The other thing is I kind of want to. Some of them is like they've got electric cooktops, and then they've got like these, like massive solar panels, and they've got a massive battery system, and it's kind of like I don't know about you guys, but I kind of feel like everything that we've done with solar and batteries requires a substantial amount of maintenance. A lot of times it goes maintenance free, but there's always something.
Right up until it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, so they're like, okay, we've prepared for 20 years of zombie apocalypse, and it's kind of like, all right, cool. And so how long is your solar going to last? And it's like, it's going to easily last 20 years. But I mean, like, do you have spare parts? Because some of those spare parts, it's not exactly repairable. Anyway, I kind of feel like the rocket cooktop.
Uh-oh. I heard rocket cooktop, and then it stopped.
I think Paul's frozen.
Yeah, I think we lost Paul for a second.
Paul.
There he is.
Back.
Yeah.
Oh, that was on me. I fizzed out.
Yeah, you said the last word was rocket cooktop.
But that's okay.
I think that the one at Allerton Abbey is going to probably last 100 years, but I'm not sure how old it is so far. I know we just recently opened up our rocket mass heater at the Fisher-Price House, and this is its 13th winter. It still looks brand new on the inside. I think it's going to last 100 years. Or longer. But, okay. Rocket cooking, off-grid cooking with no propane.
I have one bit to add there, Paul, and I think it's something very practical right now here in Colombia. There's a lot of people who cook with wood, and for example, there's these old ladies who get lung cancer from cooking with that. And in most of Latin America, it's a thing. In rural places, they cook with wood, and it's just a massive amount of smoke in their faces. So I think this technology is something that can be used here in a very positive way, and also allows for the rocket stuff to have an application here that I'm not like burning right now.
Right, this is a good application for a warm environment, for a warm ecosystem.
Oh, okay. But I want you to, Andreas, I need you to differentiate a little bit, because we're talking about cooking with wood versus cooking with wood. And so with the first style, can you describe how that's different than the rocket cooktop we're looking at right now?
The style that people use right now.
The style where people are getting lung trouble.
Okay, so basically they set up a campfire over a little setup, and they put wood, and there's a hole where the fire comes out and fire with smoke, and then they usually do this in a kind of open area, but the women usually are cooking right in front of the smoke, so they just eat it and breathe it all day long. And it's very sad because there's these very healthy people who don't smoke, who eat very well, are very active, but then this little aspect and lack of technology is killing them and making their lives really, really bad. There's been some improvements in how these stoves are being used right now, and redirecting the smoke outside and things like that, but still nothing as close as efficient as this setup of the rocket cooktop.
So yeah,
and also they use massive amounts of wood. Like that's a daily chore that they wake up, and one of the first things they do is go to the forest and chop a bunch of wood to feed the fire all day.
I mean, all this rockety stuff started with the rocket stove. And there's the story of Yanto Evans doing making the rocket stove and how and why and all that. And it's like, and it made it so that they could do their cooking with 1/10 of the wood and like 1/100th of the smoke and stuff like that. But I think that the rocket cooktop goes a little beyond that. Even less wood, even less smoke. And especially less smoke inside of a building, because it's exhausted to the outside. And so, and I'm kind of curious about, I love the idea of hearing from people that have a wood cook stove, like an old school wood cook stove, and then they switch to a rocket cooktop. I'd like to hear a comparison in that space. I mean, I've never used one before. One of the old school cooktops, one of the old school wood cooktops,
right,
that are so popular in some places, and those are very off-grid. However, I think that the rocket cooktop is probably going to be better, but maybe not. Maybe those old those wood stoves don't use a lot of wood for cooking. So maybe it's comparable. And the only advantage is, because I also know those wood cook stoves I think they're like $4,000. And The rocket cooktop, I mean, I don't know, probably, I'm going to guess under $200. So, all right, let's see. Designed to heat food without heating the house. Okay, I think we've talked about everything in the rocket cooktop. If nobody has any questions in the chatty chat, which I don't see any, maybe.
I've got a question.
Ooh, oh yes, Mike.
I think I've used the Allerton Abbey rocket cooktop, and it looks just like that beautiful picture on the card. Underneath the cob, is it basically just bricks and a fire brick burn chamber and some kind of fancy riser or a simple riser inside? And Paul looks very stationary right now.
I guess my internet must be getting dodgy. But,
so what's it like on the inside of that, Paul?
Bricks. It's like bricks. I think we have lots of pictures of it under construction. It is a creation of Peter Vandenberg. He calls it the double shoebox style. I think it's been one of the best things that we have here. Peter has built some fascinating stuff here. Some stuff better than others, but that's kind of what we do the Innovators event, and he comes out and he innovates and tries some stuff out. So I believe for the double shoebox style, I believe this was his first attempt at double shoebox. And we have a batch box rocket mask here that was Peter's first attempt at an 8-inch batch box.
Whew.
Yeah, and now look how famous that has become. So, anything else about the rocket cooktop? All right.
Yes, our next card is connected because the second most voted card was the Lorena. This one is still in a little production phase, but here it is.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is one of the cards that we haven't finished yet. Is that true, Andreas?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. There still needs some tweaks to the illustrations, but almost there.
All right. So can we zoom in a little bit so I can read the text? Zooms.
Yeah, just squint more.
Activate squinting powers.
I'm going to try to read it with my accent. The Lorena has no cooktop between the heat source and the pot. More heat transfer. Plus, flames and exhaust are able to add additional heat to the sides of the pot. Yeah.
So, when I first heard of the Lorena, I thought it was one of the most brilliant things I'd ever heard of. So, rather than heating the glass surface, and then the heat goes through the glass surface to the pot, instead, the flames hit the pot directly, but they also go up around the sides of the pot, and they heat the sides of the pot. So I kind of think that maybe you're going to get a lot more heat on the bottom because you don't have that layer of glass in between. But you're also going to be heating the sides a lot. So it's really good for a boiling water bath or a soup or anything that's liquid.
Right.
Yeah. I think that if you tried to do anything using this, that's you want to do medium heat, I think this is going to be awful because you don't even get high. You only get super crazy high, psycho high. So, I think when it comes to a boiling water bath, like if you try to get a pot boiling on an electric stovetop, it'll take about an hour to get it to the point that it's boiling. But we'll fill that same pot all the way to the top, and we'll get it boiling in the Lorena in 15 minutes. So we're doing more. I mean, I think it would be better to try to do a fair comparison between the two. We should really measure between the two. But the Lorena has been dreamy. And the only question left is, how dreamy is it? And but one of the trade-offs is that the Lorena is not for an indoor kitchen. It's an outdoor kitchen only. And the reason is that there will be some gases that escape around the sides of the pot. I mean, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good seal, but there's going to be enough leaky leak that I think I wouldn't want it in an enclosed space.
Yeah, and one comment with that heat on the sides of the pan and touching it, that's exactly the case for maple syrup. You want the flames touching the pan, not hitting the surface in between. So that rings very true. One problem I have with my pans for syrup is that as the heat comes up around the pan, everywhere there's liquid inside, the liquid keeps the pan cool at a balmy 212 degrees. Above the water line in the pan, where the flames are hitting the side of the pan and there's no liquid to keep it cool, that part of the pot gets hotter than a pistol. So as the syrup bubbles up and hits that hot ring around the edge of the pan, it's like burning on and scorching and doing all kinds of magic. So with a bunch of tomato soup in there that's only half as deep as the flames come up around the sides, one thing to watch for would be like burning as it blurps up onto that hot rim. So the waterier your stuff, probably the better.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Or Lorena, where the pot can adjust up and down based on how deep the liquid is in it.
I think what I just heard is that when you design your maple syrup, your sugar shack, and you're cooking the maple syrup stuff, is you want to try to keep your pans full and also try to keep the heat below maybe the top inch and a half of the sides or something. Because your pan's got to sit inside of something.
Yeah, like my pans are those hotel steam pans, those rectangular ones at buffet lines.
Yeah.
The rim just sits on a perimeter. So mine are 6 inches deep into the fire, but I only want the syrup to be maybe 3/4 of an inch deep in there. If I fill the pan up, it takes forever to boil, and it's not evaporating as much, but that's a syrup nuance as opposed to a Lorena thing. But you can learn more about it in the video on maple syrup that I posted to Burmese.
That you can get as a stretch goal in our Kickstarter if you...
Yes. Learn all about maple syrup by backing the Kickstarter at the $100 level.
Yes, exactly. Thanks, Mike.
Link below.
Should I read the next one?
Well, in a moment, I'm noticing that our Kickstarter has not moved forward even $1. So I feel like it's probably a good time to say, yeah. So there we've got Permies.com/KS, and we kind of set this all up with the hopes that people would help our Kickstarter out a little bit as we do this, and expectations are low, but it'd still be nice. Oh, and earlier I talked about how bad guys have pooped all over our mailing list, and we're trying to repair that. Bad guys have also pooped all over our YouTube channel, and I don't know of a way to repair that. And so I guess my YouTube channel will be forever pooped upon. And I don't know if I've ever talked about it before, but basically what the bad guys do is they have bots come. Whenever I have a new video, they have bots come and they watch my new video. They'll have 1,000 bots watch my new video for 1 second, and then that makes YouTube think, boy, this must be a really terrible video. People keep stopping watching it at 1 second in. It's terrible. It's the worst. And so now, so then YouTube's like, well, I'm not going to show it to his 400,000 subscribers because it's so bad. Anyway, so yeah, our YouTube channel we found out. It was just about a few months ago. We found out somebody was saying, like, if you think someone's pooped on your YouTube channel, here's how you find out. And so we went and we looked, and it's like, oh yeah, there it is. and we know when it happened too. And so it's like we know that the people that are, I'm going to say, big energy is most likely. They don't like us talking about rocket mass heaters, which would include, I suppose, the Lorena, and so they want to poop on all of our stuff to make sure people don't find out about it. So, oh well, damn. All right. Yes, Andreas, read the next thing.
Just a little comment before that. I think it's a good thing that we are unstoppable and we will keep sharing good permaculture content regardless.
We're just kind of stupid that way.
Yeah. Well, maybe in the future we'll prove otherwise. Very, very smart. Okay, next one. After heating the pot, hot gases travel under the cooktop to warm the rest of the surface.
Yes, and while we have fried eggs there, it's like whatever's left over from the pot, because the pot's got water in it, which kind of cools those exhaust gases a lot, very fast. We are able to fry eggs, but it's not like super high heat that makes it. So like what the heat that's left over isn't your hottest heats like what you get in Allerton Abbey. But it is enough to fry eggs.
Hi, this is Mark. There are a lot of reasons to get angry these days, but I prefer to focus on the positive things that we each can do to make this world a better place. The book Building a Better World in Your Backyard, Instead of Being Angry at Bad Guys, is a great resource for just that. Instead of throwing my arms up in frustration at governments or big corporations, there's a list of ideas that we each can tackle to affect change. Information about this book and other resources can be found at permies.com.
What's next?
Next one. Perfect for stews, soups, or heating big pots quickly without wasting heat.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's very efficient at not only heating quickly, but also thoroughly. Like it's amazing how well it does at that. And so basically, I'm kind of hoping that we will evolve this where we've built the Lorena that we have here now. I'm hoping that space will evolve to become a canning kitchen because canning with the Lorena goes so much faster than with an electric cooktop.
Yeah, I was thinking water bath canning would be a good thing to have on that blurb right there. Assuming you could build one with a water bath canning sized pot right there and do your canning in that. So that might be good to highlight on the card.
I need a quick bio break. You guys cover for me, okay?
I was going to say that while editing the last two low-tech laboratory movies, I saw a lot of people using the Lorena for canning, and I remember the instructor, which maybe Mike remembers his name, a fermentation guy.
Austin?
Yes, Austin. Austin being quite impressed with the Lorena capabilities, and everyone was looking around the boiling water like it was magic, which is fun and funny. Maybe.
I think the one, I haven't looked at it too closely, but I think it's got a canning pot, a kettle the size of a canning pot in it. I wonder if you could, and if somebody wanted to get professional, they could take a pot and weld a lip around it, like maybe 2 inches down from the top, and then that could seal really well, and then maybe you wouldn't have to worry about smoke getting out.
I remember when looking at the footage of how they made it, they used the size of the pot as the to size the construction. So I think that's really neat because then you can do that, and depending on what you have when you build your own.
Yep. As long as you don't lose your pot.
Yeah. And so it's the sort of pot that has a rack that you can pull the jars up and out of it. Would guess.
Yeah, usually the rack is loose in there, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They also use some insulation, the white kind. I don't remember the name. Paul has mentioned that.
Super wool, maybe.
Yeah, super wool to kind of seal a little bit the lip at the end. So I think that helps a lot with gases and also to improve heating. So if you leave extra space, I guess that there are solutions to seal it a little bit more. Yeah.
I can't remember. I know there's some high temperature insulation that you don't want to breathe the dust from, but hopefully that is not that kind. So when you take the pot in and out, it's not doing bad things.
All right.
Where are we at?
We covered 2 more cards. We're on...
Still talking about Lorena beginning.
I will read the next one.
Okay.
You get 2 cooking zones, direct flame for boiling and residual heat for simmering.
I think we talked about that one already. Next!
This design needs good ventilation and works best in outdoor or semi-outdoor kitchens.
Yeah.
Covered that.
It uses the same efficient J-tube rocket core, but modifies the heat path for cooking needs.
And that's that drawing with the red lines. Yeah.
One of the chat. Did you guys read the chatty chat thing?
Ooh.
You don't necessarily want things too hot for frying anyway.
Right? True.
True. That's so true.
There you go. See, it's a feature.
It's a feature, not a bug. Yeah.
And you can plan your meals accordingly.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh.
This is the one I want.
I think that's supposed to be the likeness of Lisa there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. I tried my best.
Okay. Good job, Andreas. All right. High fire kilns cost about $100 for one fire. So when we say high fire, I believe it's 2,400 degrees Fahrenheit. And so what happens is that whether it's natural gas or electricity, I think they have to run it for 2 days so it can get at the appropriate temperature. A rocket kiln uses one large armload of wood to do the same thing. And I believe the whole process is done in 2 or 3 hours, as opposed to needing to take 2 days. A conventional wood-fired kiln will use 20 cords of wood. Yeah. Now, I know Mike thoroughly understands what 20 cords would look like. I think for a lot of people, we say 20 cords, and they don't know what that means. So, Mike, how would you describe to somebody who doesn't know what 20 cords of wood looks like, what it would look like? How do you describe it?
A stack of wood that's 8 feet wide, 8 feet high, and 80 feet long.
Wow. 80. 80.
Yeah.
So there used to be a size of pickup truck that was just
8 by 4 baby.
So there used to be a size of pickup truck that was a standard pickup truck, and you could put full sheets of plywood in the back of that truck. Mm-hmm. And so it had a big bed in the back of the truck. It did not have a cab, a super cab. It was just regular cab with a bench seat. But that was the size of it. So if you can imagine these substantially sized pickup trucks with a big bed, if you were to stack the firewood in the back of that in such a way that it's higher than the cab, because anyway, you stack the firewood in the back of a pickup truck higher than the cab. So it's a pretty high stack of firewood in the back of the pickup truck. That is generally 1 cord.
Oh, wow.
You would need 20 of those.
Yep.
And now
is 4 by 4 by 8.
Yeah. And so basically we're talking about a large arm load. We were kind of talking about it as being a banana box. So like there's a certain size of box. I don't know, I'm trying to gesture. There's a certain size of box. It's a cardboard box, thick cardboard, and it's for holding a bunch of bananas. But there's other fruit boxes that are about that size. It's a fruit box, a big. If you were going to go to the grocery store and get a case of fruit, it would be about the size of that box. That's about the amount of wood that we would run through the rocket kiln in order to do a firing. But the thing is that the conventional wood-fired stuff, they not only would they burn 20 cords of wood, just this crazy, enormous amount of wood, but it would be so smoky that, and Lisa would tell these stories about how so many of the potters were kicked out of town because they were just too smoky to be in town.
Yeah, no, you can't do this in town.
And it would take 2 days of burning to complete a burn for a wood-fired burn.
At the University of Illinois, they kicked the ceramics down onto the South Farms. And when we did, and I took ceramics classes, and when we did a wood burn, it ran for 2 or 3 days. There was so much smoke and stuff in the air that it glazed the pots. Like the pots became covered in an ash glaze. And at the heat of the firing, you were just throwing wood in as fast as you could. And what really annoyed me is the instructor didn't care if the wood had nails in it. And the nails would become airborne blobs of molten metal, and they would land on your pot. And it looked like a bird had pooped on your pot, but it was a melted nail.
Oh, boy. I think that a big thing is, too, you've got to keep that fire going 24 hours a day. So you got to have people. You have
to have people there. Yeah.
Yeah, like in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., and they're still loading it.
Yeah, you just have to put in.
And to just physically move 20 cords of wood is a big job.
Yeah.
And so it just sounded like such a. So the big thing is we built a rocket kiln here a few years ago, and Lisa shared it with ceramicists all over the world, and ever since then, the concept of the rocket kiln has taken the ceramics world by storm, is my understanding.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's a big, big deal. So, all right. I think we're ready to go on to the next card, Andreas. What do we got?
Yes, it connects with the kiln because it can also be part of the rocket engine, which is the rocket water heater.
Oh, nice. I know we just finished this card recently. So we were working on this card, 2 or 3 days ago, getting it done. So, but I think when we started the Kickstarter, we had quite a few of the cards started, so we could at least kind of get an idea of like what the Kickstarter would be like, what the deck of cards would look like. By the way, I think it's a good time to mention, I don't think we've gained $1 in our Kickstarter yet. In fact, no, 2 minutes ago. 2 minutes ago, we got a new backer. They increased their backer level from $85 to $105. It's Yay. Working! It's Yay. Working!
So happy.
They must have wanted the maple syrup movie.
Yes, that's what they're after. Actually, yeah, they're now at a high enough dollar level to be able to get the maple syrup stuff, I think. It doesn't say if they've got that. Well, anyway, basically it's just $100 and up, and they're at higher than $100. Okay. Rocket water heater. What we're doing is we're showing the unpressurized system, which I think is like one of these days we will take our pressurized rocket water heater out and replace it with an unpressurized system. I just kind of feel like this is the way. This is the smart way to do it. And so for those of you that have been here before, this is the one that sits next to the dishwashing station. I don't know. Mike, have you ever fired that thing up?
Yeah, I did one time for a BB.
Okay.
To show I could boil water with a rocket water heater several years ago.
Okay. My impression is that we put very cold water in, and in about 10 minutes, we have very hot water. Like it's scalding hot. And so it is very efficient. Just a few sticks. I don't know if that was your experience.
I believe so. It was 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, I want to, and I've seen plenty of the boots using it for events.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. And sometimes, they'll fire it up for washing the dishes at breakfast, and then they won't fire it up at lunchtime. It's still crazy hot. So good enough. But it's an unpressurized system. Any water that gets high enough into the tank just pours out the outlet. And so if you want there to be, if you want water to come out the outlet, all you got to do is push water into the inlet. And so there's that valve right there. And once you just turn that and a bunch of water goes in, then water starts to come out the outlet. It just displaces it. The exhaust is low, so it comes out of the space low, so that way it does a stratification chamber thing. The hottest gases are trapped near the top, and there's going to be a lot of heat transfer up there. And then the coolest gases go to the exhaust. And much like the Lorena, you're going to have the flames are hitting the tank directly. And so we're getting a lot of heat in there. Oh, look at all the comments pouring in. Let's see.
Thank you, TJ.
Oh, that was me. So TJ is the one that put the money into the Kickstarter. Yes, thank you. I wanted to show my appreciation for all the work you're putting into this project. Oh, thank you. So, if I recall, this is the High Commander's favorite rockety thing at Wheaton Labs. Ooh, I'd have to ask him. I didn't know that. I know that he usually does it, and it is quick and easy, so that might be it. Let's see. Is there EV charging there? So, Julia, did you charged your EVs here, didn't you?
Yeah. There's EV charging nearby, definitely.
Right. There's the giant mega charge stuff nearby.
Yeah.
But then, here on site, I remember Elliot once, slipped me $5. This is for whatever electricity I just pulled off to charge my car. And it's okay. Something like that.
Yeah, I could see that. Because, you can charge a car. I mean, there are fast chargers nearby, and you can slow charge your car. Yeah, there's definitely plenty of electricity.
Yeah, I would say you could bring your own level 1 cord and charge just fine, but there's no level 2 chargers on site. But I just bought one for my house, and as long as you have an outlet, you can make them portable. So for a couple $100 or less, you could get set up for level 2 charging.
Oh yeah, yeah. We have a level 2 charger that uses a what is that called? A 240, like a dryer plug.
Yeah.
Like for your clothes dryer or your electric stove.
So, Mike, did you get an EV?
I did.
Which one did you get?
I got a little Chevy Bolt.
Okay.
His name is Meebe.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
This podcast is continued in part 2.
In a world on the brink of social collapse, one website stands above the rest to fight back the zombie horde of corporate trolls. Permies.com. Take back control of your destiny and protect your loved ones from the toxic gick coming at you from all directions. Strap on your overalls and start building that bunker of abundance with the good vibes and friendly, helpful insight found at Permies.com.